So Fear Street Part 2, so I just got finished watching this on Netflix, and the first thing that I want to talk about is how these serial killers in these types of movies, they always walk so slowly. Like seriously, these guys are like a snail. They just walk so slowly and somehow they always manage to magically somehow, like they have some sort of Harry Potter apparition type powers, they manage to just catch up with their prey every single time. And yeah, it's always bothered me in these sorts of movies how they always do that. Anyway, so Fear Street Part 2. So I really like how this movie connected well with the first movie. We see the sole survivors of the first movie reaching out to the sole survivor of the Camp Nightwing. I think that was the name of the camp. We see the sole survivor of the Camp Nightwing massacre team up with the other sole survivors and tell her story to see if she can help them to stop the witch. And then we go into the flashback, which is basically the whole movie. So we see Camp Nightwing in the 70s. There is the Shady Siders. I think they're the ones in this movie. They're mainly wearing blue shirts. And then there's the Sunnyvalers, the rich kids in the red shirts. So I will say that one thing that annoyed me about this movie is how they basically set up every single Sunnyvaler to be these horrible people. And when I say horrible people, I mean basically sociopaths. Like there's this moment where our protagonist girl gets hit, like punched straight in the face so hard she starts to bleed and gets knocked over by one of the Sunnyvale guys, and then him and a group of Sunnyvale girls hang her up on a tree and start burning her, like literally burning her with a lighter. And I'm like, these kids are basically sociopaths. Like, are they the serial killers? Like, seriously. Anyway, and it's just like, yeah, I get that. I get bullying is obviously a really, relevant topic and a theme of this movie. But it would have been nice to see if they had portrayed some of the Sunnyvale kids to not be completely sociopathic, horrible bullies. It would have been nice to see if they had incorporated some themes of the two sides, the red and the blue, working together. We never see them really working together. We see the protagonist girl. She basically sets up this prank on the head mean girl. She covers her with bugs and locks her in this cabin or something. So when the serial killer starts killing everybody, she's stuck in the cabin. So our protagonist, whose name I've forgotten, she basically puts her life on the line to risk herself for this girl who has been nothing but horrible to her. So yeah, they did have that one moment of a bit of a message there, but that was the only time they really did it. And, the girl didn't sort of have that redemptive moment and think, hey, this girl put her life on the line for me. Maybe I should stop being horrible to her. Anyway, I just felt like they were forcing it way too hard with the whole red and the blue. But apart from that, look, I like how they set up the third movie, how we're going to go into 1666 with the origin story of the witch and see how she became the witch. And I think that's going to be really interesting. So look out for my review on that next week. So yeah, look, I worked on a summer camp and I remember like watching all those scary movies like Friday the 14th. What am I saying? Friday the 13th in my cabin. And yeah, I don't know why I did that. For some reason, I apparently wanted to scare myself silly because I thought it would be fun. Everybody who is a fan of horror can see how much the Fear Street Part 2 paid homage to that. But I think they did it in a better way than they did it with Scream in the first movie. I felt like that was way too much of a rip-off, I think they did better with that in this movie, and I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than the first movie. But having said that, look, this is definitely a Netflix movie. It's not a movie I would ever leave the home to see, but it still was a pretty good, entertaining movie. I'm excited to see the third one. So I think, I would give it a C plus. So let me know what you thought of the movie. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that YouTube stuff. Thanks, guys.